aficionados. This is John Moser with another edition of Cocktails Out of Quarantine. It's a chilly day here in north central Ohio. Fall has come upon us in full force. It's kind of rainy and cloudy, so I'm starting to think about good warm weather or cool weather drinks. And one I'm going to make today is called the Martinez, and it's a very old drink, developed sometime in the 19th century. We're not actually sure when. I would describe it as somewhere between a Negroni and a Manhattan. It's gin based, but it's also got vermouth like a Negroni, no Campari, but some Luxardo and some bitters as well. So let me tell you a little bit about the history of this drink. There are at least two competing theories on where it came from. The first was that it was invented by Jerry Thomas. Jerry Thomas was a 19th century bartender in New York City. He is sometimes referred to as the father of American mixology. This guy was a big deal. And one story said that he had a customer who was about to travel to Martinez, California, which is in the Bay Area. So he made him a drink and named it for him. But I'm told that if you actually go to Martinez, California, they'll tell you that it was made by a local bartender. As with so many other drinks, we don't know the actual origins. People didn't tend to write that stuff down, at least in any authoritative sense. So all we can really do is speculate. It is clear, though, that this is a very old drink. The first reference that we see to it in print is from a book published in 1884 called The Modern Bartender's Guide. That was compiled, I should say, by O.H. Byron. It's very likely that the drink was invented well before 1884, but 1884 is the first time we see it in print. Anyway, that's the history of the drink. Here's what you're going to need in order to make it. Now, it calls for gin. For this, the original recipe, 1884, called for Genever, which is sort of an early Dutch gin. And if you want to use a regular gin, that's fine. Genever has been around since the late 16th century. It actually predates the London dry gin that's much more common today. This is from Bol's, a Dutch company. Genever, I'm going to use it for this drink. If you don't have Genever, maybe Old Tom. If you don't have that, some dry gin would work. But I think Genever is going to give it a nice malty texture. Secondly, sweet vermouth, quality matters. The Carpano Antica, again, I keep saying it, this is my favorite. We are going to use Luxardo. Any sweetness that it has, and it has a little bit of sweetness, is going to come from the Luxardo. No simple syrup, no citrus, anything like that. And we're going to dash some bitters in there. This is from the Bitter Truth, Jerry Thomas's own decanter bitters. Since this is allegedly a Jerry Thomas drink, I thought I would use these bitters. Angostura will work just fine if that's what you have. And then we will use an orange twist as a garnish. That's what you're going to need in order to make the drink. Now, I'm going to show you how to make it. Okay, we're going to start with a mixing glass with ice. No need to shake this drink. And we add to this 1.5 ounces of our gin, or if you have it, Genever. That smells good. To which we are going to add an equal amount, 1.5 ounces. Oh, I've almost added 1.5 ounces of Luxardo, which would really be an unbalanced drink. 1.5 ounces of sweet vermouth. I guess I lied when I said the only sweetness would come from the Luxardo. There's a certain degree of sweetness, obviously, that comes from sweet vermouth. They call it that for a reason. 1/4 ounce of the Luxardo. That will make for a good drink. Love Luxardo. And a couple dashes of our bitters. Stir that well. And pour into coupe glass. This is a Nick and Nora glass. I think it's awfully pretty. I use it whenever I get the opportunity. That's an attractive drink, but it needs a garnish. So we will take orange. We'll get a paring knife, and I'm going to try to cut a fairly long stretch of peel. There we go. And then I want to make this isn't all that pretty. Look at the ragged edges. So I'm going to take my paring knife, let me clear some room so you can see it. Put this down, I'm going to cut along both sides. Get those ragged edges off. And then both sides. Take that. We'll just express this over the top of the drink. Get some oils in there. I'm also going to rub it along the top. Bend, and I drape it over the side like so. This is the Martinez, an old drink, a classic drink, a classy drink, good drink for a cool day too. Even a good drink for a warm day, I would think. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, and I hope you try this drink, and until next time, cheers.